So the last 2,000 years of the Piscean Age, we've been taught to reject ourselves. We've been taught to reject our passions. We've been taught to reject our enthusiasm, especially for things that aren't practical, that don't make you money. They're not productive. We've been taught to reject our divine heritage, which is the joy of simply being alive, the joy of simply being. We've lost our sense of magic, right? And we live in a magical universe. So rejection is one of the core wounds that can be found in the collective unconscious of humanity. And each one of us has to face this fear of rejection. So how this plays out in your personal life is you reject and ridicule parts of yourself all the time, right? There's parts of you that you judge or you repress or you deny, that you push down. And what happens is you end up projecting that out into the external world, onto other people. And this is called shadow projection. So if someone in your life irritates you, annoys you, brings up a lot of negativity for you, brings up a lot of high voltage emotions deep within you, the answer isn't to kick them out of your life, cut them out of your life. The answer isn't to judge them. And the answer isn't to exclude them from access to you. Because this person is showing you a reflection of yourself, right? So it's like trying to get rid of the mirror. There's nothing wrong with the mirror, right? Another mirror will take its place. So spiritually, that won't work for you. So what you're seeing is your shadow. And these are the parts of yourself that you've denied and repressed. So the universe is very generous in showing us ourselves, that reflection. And remember that the sun can't see itself. So you too cannot see yourself, only through the reflection of others. So if you have a person in your life like that, hold on to them. Hold on to them tightly. Cherish them. Honor them. Respect them. Because they're giving you a gift. A huge gift, a huge blessing of being able to see yourself so that you can integrate all parts of yourself. So when you reject people in this way, you're inviting in chaos, you're inviting in drama, you're inviting in pain and suffering. And if you are in a place in your life right now where you're doing everything right, but still life doesn't seem to be flowing for you, this means that there's a shadow at work that you haven't integrated into your being. So it's not about the other person. It's all about you. When you reject others, you're really just rejecting a part of yourself. Rejection is a form of separation. Separation from God, separation from creation, separation from the divine, separation from the universe. And we're seeing the ultimate rejection in the world's headlines now with the onslaught of terrorism. With fundamentalists rejecting, through violence and destruction and murder, those that don't align with their belief systems. This is the ultimate rejection. So we're going to see more and more of this because Saturn, the heavy planet of Saturn, has just moved from Scorpio into Sagittarius until 2017. So we're going to see more and more of these fundamentalists. You know, my God is the one God. So this time that we're in, each one of us is on the hot plate. Each one of us is in the fire. Each one of us is on the cross. We're in huge spiritual lessons right now. So it's important that you don't take it personally. That's why it's so intense. Right, all these high voltage emotions and outbursts on the planet right now. You're healing these old DNA ancestral programs such as greed and competition and violence and war and disease. And all of these programs are rooted in fear. You know, historians will look back at this time and they'll look at it as a turning point for mankind. Historians will say that this is a time when the majority of humans woke up to their true nature and realized that they were all one. This is a time when the people of this planet began to experience their individual power and took responsibility for their lives, took responsibility for their creations. This is a time when the darkness of the ego ceased to rule the planet. They realized that their choices impact every other living thing. They realized that they were part of a whole and not separate from one another. They began to consider others that were different in skin color, different in their belief systems, different in their sexual orientation. They started working together in harmony to create a way of living that benefited all life on this planet. In one fell swoop, they transmuted greed, violence, competition, disease, poverty, and war. Humanity finally realized that the beauty of unity can be found within its diversity. Each person has their own unique point of view of the world, and as long as they're not harming others, that point of view is to be respected. Okay, so this can sound lofty to some. This can almost sound like utopia, right? It almost sounds like heaven on earth. So what can you do as an individual? Because the mind and the ego can tell you that the problems are too big in the world and I'm too small. And don't listen to that. For one thing, you've got a lot of power as the individual because you're connected to the whole of humanity. So when you shift and change and evolve, it impacts everyone on the planet. So the first thing that you can do is take self-responsibility for what you create in your world. You're creating everything that you see around you. This is the spiritual truth, capital T, truth. So start owning those shadows. If there's someone in your life that you don't like, brings up a lot of negativity, someone that you judge, it's not about them, it's about you. So begin to own and bring back these pieces to yourself and integrate these shadows into your being, into the light of awareness. Another thing is to have tolerance for another person that has a different belief system than you. You do not have to defend your belief system. This is the ego that compels you that you need to defend. You don't need to defend anything. In this year in particular, 2015, is really a time for us to reevaluate our belief systems. Question your belief systems. Where do they come from? Is this even my belief system? Do I even believe it? Is it serving my soul or is it serving my ego? And the best thing to do, if you can only do one thing for the benefit of all, is to love yourself. You must love yourself, and that means loving all parts of yourself. So here's a wonderful Kundalini yoga and meditation for you to practice. And you really want this in your tool belt for these times because things are heating up. You know, 2014, we're going to see more of that and more intensely in 2015. So this is a meditation to balance impulsive behavior. And what it does is balances the old brain or old animal brain with our fairly new evolved part of our brain, the frontal lobe. And then it balances the brain hemispheres. So it really helps you to respond to life instead of react to life. So it gives you that gap, right, that you don't react, because that's the worst thing that you want to do right now is to react to life. Life is just happening. You have no control over that, but you do have control in how you respond to life. That's the only control you have. So click the link above my head, and if you can't see the link because you're on a smartphone, go down to the little information box and then click the link there. And then please send this meditation, this video, to anyone in your life you feel would really benefit from this. Okay, Sat Nam.